Surf fishing is a great year-round pastime in the Palm Beaches, but the prime seasons are generally during the fall and spring when many fish species migrate along the coast. You can catch a wide variety of fish in the surf, including snook, tarpon, pompano, whiting, flounder, and more. So the mullet run is one of the spectacles of nature that you can witness as a visitor to the Palm Beaches. Tell me a little bit about this mullet run and what makes it so special.
It is very cool. Fishing, we're just heading down to the beach. It is something really not to be missed. Every fall, usually about this time in September, we see the first bits of mullet. Same thing, they're on a migration. It gets too hot here in the summer, so they start to come back down. But you will just see for miles and miles, very dark schools of the baits. They're moving through on the facade of the wave, and behind them is all the predators that like to eat them. So we're talking about big jack crevalles, we're talking about lots of rolling tarpon right at sunrise, snook, black tip sharks. But it's just so extraordinary. It's like the predators are lit up on their feeding frenzy kind of thing. And so you just got bait and fish jumping out of the water, jumping in the sky everywhere.
And what makes it so special about the mullet run here is the clarity of the water. So, you know, looking at that from the air, for example, is just crazy because you're just seeing this white water explode everywhere and these bait fish running for their lives. It's pretty cool, isn't it?
It's very, very cool.
Alison holds classes for ladies, fishing camps for kids, and organizes other events as well. She has completed an FWC fishing course in junior fishing education and has been fishing the beach for over 35 years. So you've been fishing since childhood. I guess you had a mentor in your life. Tell me about the mentorship program that you're doing here, trying to get more women anglers into the sport.
So I was fortunate to have a lot of mentors. I fished with my dad and a lot of other guys on the pier that took me under their wing when I was young. It's not as much as me trying to get women and kids fishing. The need is there. I get requests all the time. I get requests a lot for boat maneuvering. So there's just a lot more women that want to be on the water and they want to be independent. And so we work different programs around whatever those goals are. So we do family offshore trips on the head boat, and the party boats are great. That's really how I started. And then I just have more and more ladies reach out to me. So we tend to do 1 or 2 classes, either at somebody's house or White's Tackle was generous enough to let us use their space. And so the ladies get sort of a background information. And then the beach is a great platform for everybody to learn how to tie knots or put bait on or take fish off. And then we graduate to ladies that would like to have offshore skills from there. Then we start doing more party boat trips, or we do open boat trips, so they can start using live bait and gaff and then fillet. So it's really something that I just tailor to whatever the groups are. There we go!
Look at that, little Jack Crevalle. Yes. Very cool. It's important to pay attention to the tides. Fish tend to be more active during incoming and outgoing tides. Some species like snook are known to feed heavily during the outgoing tide. Always be aware of your surroundings and the conditions in the surf. Rip currents can be strong, so always check the weather and tide forecasts before heading out.
So when you surf, how do you find the best spot to swim and paddle out before you turn into the lineup?
Well, I normally just look for an outflowing channel of water that's easier to paddle. So
okay.
You know how it comes in, you get a rip coming back out, just paddle into that rip
100%.
that's going back out
So
there.
that same thing is what we look for when we're surf fishing. So that rip is what I call the bait highway.
Right.
So if you have a trough, sandbar trough, which is a normal scenario, that rip is how the bait fish go from the outside across the sandbar. They get pushed in with that current and then they're in the trough.
Right.
And the predator fish follow them on the same way. So a lot of times when you do get to a spot and you think, well, now where I'm at the beach, but where do I set up?
Right.
A lot of people are looking for that rip.
Right.
And then some people fish along that rip Or just like you said, like the rip current chart, it makes 2 holes up here sometimes. So that's like my number one thing I'm looking for is, do I see the backflow of water? And then maybe I'm fishing the rip, or maybe I'm fishing the 2 holes to the sides of it.
Got it, makes sense. This is like fishing real estate, right? Location, 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 that they say so often. I guess it applies to fishing too.